Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. So I'll hear that one of our board members, Jay, is not here tonight, and have some prayers with him of an unexpected death of his dad.
Oh, our condolences. Well, we are thinking of him in years in our prayers. Everybody had a chance to look at the agenda? Motion to adopt.
Like to add that zoning fee. Did you do that for?
Yeah, we don't know about.
Thank you. I'll forget.
Zoning fee added. Go ahead, have someone adopt the agenda with the zoning fee added. Have a second? Val seconded. All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carried. Have a chance to look at the minutes from December 8th. Have a second? Favor? Motion carried. And Joel, busy, road report.
Quick. Don't recall if I don't have my regular notebook in front of me tonight, so I've already mentioned this the last time. My apologies. Truck 2, the 2014 Western Star tandem axle dump truck. We did a rebuild on the sander during storms. Well, I mentioned that or not, but anyways, that truck's back up and operational. It is still having some diagnostic issues. The codes being on, we've had them reset, blah, 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 but the truck is still running. And so I think we'll be good to go for whatever tomorrow brings in near future. We've got some parts on order for that, and we're hoping that'll settle it so we don't have to ship the truck to Westminster. Yeah. I did forget to mention the last meeting, we got the final portion of the bank stabilization now on Route 140, was putting in some guardrails out there, and that did get done. I think it came out pretty nicely. It's just enough room for our truck to run with the wing down without smashing the guardrails up, and it also allows room for Slate Valley Trails to utilize the backside of the guardrail safely versus crossing 140 there if they should choose to do so. That was kind of pre-planned that way to work out as such, so that leaves us options for growth in the future. The bridge, many of you that live in South Poultney may have noticed that the bridge lights were flashing caution Saturday morning. There was an error with the units down there, and they're all linked together. So if one goes down, the whole system goes down, and then it defaults to a flashing yellow caution light. It was just they're primarily solar powered other than the main two, but it wasn't the main two that lost some power. It was the other ones. So with the help of Paul and one of the other guys from the crew, just so everybody knows, Paul got out of the office and did some flagging and whatnot. And about a 5 to 6 hour day to get them back up and operational, because people were trying to drive at each other on the bridge at the same time. And anyways, we should not have that issue again. I won't say there won't be an issue. It actually should have been something that Wynn could have dealt with, as they're responsible for it, to my understanding, but they were not capable of being here in a very timely manner over the weekend. So being a public safety issue, it couldn't wait. So
Thank you.
And finally, I see some new faces that I didn't see the last time, so I'm going to try to get this out there. If you've ever been victim of a plow truck wing taking out your mailbox, I would encourage you to go to the USPS webpage and install your mailbox at the recommended height, at the maximum height of the legal, 51 inches actually.
They moved it up.
Yeah, that's from the bottom of your door. So all of our trucks' wings will clear 51 inches, and hopefully you shouldn't get your mailbox taken out again. So that was it.
But it got replaced, so whoever did that thing.
Are you village or town?
Down.
Town. Okay, so probably one of us. You're welcome. Sorry for hitting it in the first place.
No problem.
We don't try to.
I don't care as long as you got cloud good.
Yeah, I did say that before. I promise you, we don't try to take out mailboxes. We don't really want to go out there in 18 degrees after 16 hours in a truck and then go fix mailboxes. It's just the nature of the beast. Sometimes people don't move over. We don't have a lot of room to play with, so it happens. Unless anybody has any questions, comments, or concerns, that's all I've got tonight.
Thank you. The roads are good as far as I know. So good job. Thank the
Thanks.
crew. Thanks. Anybody board have questions for Joel? Good job. What's supposed to get snow tomorrow?
Supposed to get 1 to 3 was the last report I was aware of, and then more on Friday and Saturday. The whole week it's kind of hit and
Oh, I
miss,
thought
so.
Thursday they said we're getting some too.
That could very well be. I have 3 weather apps on my phone, and it seems like never one of them is actually right. And when one of them is right, the other 2 don't line up with it. So
Thursday we're away good. Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Yeah.
I'm gonna hold you to that.
Thank the crew. Good job.
Will do.
That's good. Thank you. Okay, community development, Sarah.
Okay, so continuing with the theme of data at the year end, I have some sales and use tax data to share with the board tonight. At the last meeting, we reviewed the rooms and meals for the past few years, but tonight we're going to talk a little bit about the sales and use data to help inform decision making, and also some census data that I use and many people use for writing grant applications for the town and the village. But the sales and use data, just so folks know, is provided by the Vermont Department of Taxes, and they provide information on gross receipts, which includes all reported sales for Poultney, including items that are exempt from sales tax. So the number is provided for reference. The retail receipts for this analysis and for the tax data include only the taxable sales of sales of exempted items do not appear in the number. And then the use receipts are also collected. That information is collected by the state, but we do not have reporting on that. So I'm just going to share my screen for a minute and show you a slide. And so last time I had a pretty little graph that the Department of Taxes created for us. However, that's not available for these receipts from the state just yet. So this was one of my first ventures into using AI to create a chart. So it's a little it's a little wonky, but it's the information is still there for us to see. So on the left, the bar chart on the left shows you gross receipts for Poultney dating from 2014 to 2024. So we're looking at a 10-year period. I'm going to make it a little bit bigger, actually. Okay. So I think, the thing that I wanted to point out here in terms of the receipts, the town has changed its value. The 5-year value you can kind of see in the upper left-hand corner. The 5-year change is 41.2% and a 10-year change of 50%, almost 51% in gross receipts. So back in 2014, the community was submitting receipts just upwards of $50 million. In 2024, that has grown to almost $80 million. I didn't include a lot of data pre-2020 just because during COVID it was very complicated in terms of economic data and really what the economy was doing. So it's kind of an outlier. You can see there a change of 17.9%, which is really difficult to attribute to any one thing. But the good news in it is that the community has stayed at that higher level since 2020 and has grown in terms of gross receipts overall. So if you're looking at 2020, upwards of $60 million, you can kind of see the growth that is happening there in terms of gross receipts. Retail is a little bit of a different story. That doesn't have as much change. you've got 19% for the 5-year and 20, almost 24% for the 10-year change in those values. But you are, the community staying somewhere in the vicinity of $10 million. So, you know, that is a value that can change a little bit more readily. So some of these fluctuations, 16% jump in 2020, is a bit of an outlier again. But you can, you know, it is steady, and it's growing slowly in terms of the retail receipts. And then at the bottom, I just pulled the actual data from the Department of Taxes for the past 3 years to show the year-over-year change for the taxable gross receipts. So in 2024, it was almost that $80 million, which is a 5.7% change from 2023. In 2023, you had a 7% change from 2022. And in 2022, there was a decline from 2021. But the good news is that it's trending upward. You know, exactly what those businesses are that are creating the basis of all these receipts would probably really require some further analysis and, you know, where those receipts are coming from in Poultney. But overall, it's that's a positive thing. And before I leave, I want to share some other data if I can figure out how to.
So Sarah, we don't really know what contributes to all that rise, right? You're saying we're not sure?
Yeah, I think it would, you know, it would require some additional analysis as to who is submitting those receipts in Poultney and, you know, what that growth is coming from. I can make some guesses, but you know, it's probably not a good idea to do at this point. But yes, overall, the receipts are increasing. So I'm going to X out of there. Does anybody have any other receipts or any other questions before I go to a different chart?
Any questions?
Okay. So next I want to share census data. Just so folks know that this is out there, how it's used, and a little bit of information that I see in it. So the U.S. Census provides these community snapshots, profiles, which tell you about your town. You know, some of it is projections. You can see under these different categories. They're at the fourth row down is the source of this data. So like a 2023 American Community Survey 5-year estimate. It is an estimate based on all sorts of different information that the federal government uses to collect this and analyze it. But the thing I wanted to highlight here is that it's available. First of all, if anyone has these has an interest in learning more about the community, it's really laid out pretty nicely. You know, your population here is on the left-hand side. That is actual decennial census data. So 3020 is the 2020 census data. You know, projections have shown some very modest growth in the community since that time, but you won't know for sure until the census occurs again. And then I think, you know, one of the things that is really interesting in this data is the population age. So there's this available for both Poultney as a place, the overall town, and then Poultney Village specifically. But the age in Poultney town overall, which does include the village, is 41.6 is the median age, which is lower than the median age in Rutland County. You can see that, interestingly, you have the highest population here is in the 20 to 30 age range, 20 to 24 and 25 to 29. And then you have another group that is 70 to 74 years. That's a pretty good set amount of the population.
I wouldn't have guessed that. That's interesting.
Yeah.
We never have guessed that.
Yeah, it is really interesting that this community is trending towards a younger demographic. And it's a good, it's positive indicator. I was going down to median household income, just so folks know. The median household income in Poultney currently, according to the census, is 62,297, which is lower than Rutland County still. It has been for quite some time, but it is starting to catch up. It's starting to make some strides there. So this information's available if anybody's writing grants, if anybody wants to understand, more about the community and its demographics. I'm happy to walk people through this. I am going to stop sharing that because I want to show you Poultney Villages really quickly too. That'd be an easier way to do this. So Poultney Village has its own profile from US Census. And it's really interesting to see the difference between the two. So if you're looking at Poultney Town, just remember that it is inclusive of Poultney Village, the way that the Census, US Census Bureau collects that information. But this village, this information is specific to the village. So the population within the village is just over 1,000. The median household income is it's around the same as the town overall, but it is slightly lower, 61,597. And I think, it's really interesting for the village. The median age in Poultney Village is 28, which is well below the median age in Vermont, which is 43.9. So I think that's really interesting information. Here you have people, the highest population is between 15 to 19 years. And then you can kind of see it scales out for 20 to 24 and 25 to 29. And then again, you have a bigger group at 70 to 74. So your community is pretty young.
That's great. That's good.
It is good. It's good. And then the other thing that I think is pretty interesting here too is residential mobility. So Poultney Village has had almost 13% of its population has moved from a different state in the last year. Whereas in Vermont, that is estimated to be 3.8%. So newcomers are coming to the community. And, that is also a positive trend. So again, if anyone wants to know more about what's in any of these profiles or the census data, if they're writing grants or, have any of that kind of information, I'm happy to go through it. But thought it was important to share with the select board. I know you're working on lots of other things. That's good.
Great. Thank you, Sarah.
You're welcome. That's it for me. That's nice.
Thank you.
Okay, so the first thing we have on the agenda is the vicious dog complaints. I'm not sure if Bob can do it or anything about this. I did speak with Mr. Baca and he said he was out of town. And I said, well, I sent him the agenda, which has a Zoom link and you can from anywhere in the world, provided you have service. So no one's here for the Bacas apparently.
This is a hearing to be.
They were the constable served them with the notice the complaint. I do see a couple of the complainants in the room if the board wants to hear from them.
Is there anything new?
Any updates?
Yeah, updates.
Well, they were at my place the other day.
You are.
I'm Sandy Way Jones. I live down on Granville Street. I was not home. My son was not home. They terrorized. I have feral cats. They terrorized them. They dug at my garage and dug up the cement all out. They pulled the board off. They dug at the other side of it. I have a insulation board against the door and the cats come under it. They dug under that and tore up the insulation. I mean, my cats in the garage had gone ballistic. There's stuff dumped everywhere. There's bloody footprints, and of course I can't tell who they came from. I just found my last feral today. Saw him in the garage, so all my cats are accounted for. I do know they did kill my neighbor's cat. She couldn't come. She has COVID. So they did kill Calvin. My neighbor Nancy found him.
And you have a photo of it.
I do have a photo of the dead cat, and I have photos of what the dog did in my barn and the
And
inside to the garage. And somebody did take a picture of the dog at my garage.
Does
as they were
Does
driving.
Nancy have a last name?
Hmm?
Nancy's last name?
Noble.
Oh, the Noble family. Okay,
Yeah,
gotcha.
and then Tori's, what is Tori's last name? No, Victoria.
Um,
I can't think of her last name right now.
it's a hard thing to say. I spoke to her on Monday. Sears.
Yeah, I cannot, for the life of me, it's like gone.
Yeah, I did speak with Victoria and I,
Mike and Tori, yeah, Victoria, can't think of her. Right now, I can't think of her last names, but yeah, so that's, second time they've been down. to my-
Seal it, I think.
Yeah, seal it,
Yeah.
yeah. So that's the second time they've been down there, because last time they were down in Nancy's pig pen, and she had to get them out of the pig pen.
I mean, we met with them when we had a meeting in February, and it's hard because a lot of people think that we don't do anything, and we haven't taken care of it. We kind of have been doing things, but what we need to hear, which is happening, that if something happens, they come to us. We were told today that both dogs have been taken out. They are not coming back and will be rehoused somewhere else. I don't have verification from Raj on that or anybody from the Baca campus. So I can't say for sure, and I wouldn't say that, but that's what we have so far. If there's something that happened and you put, like you came to the meeting, you put it in writing for us, we have documentation from it. If something should happen and this is not true and they are backhand, we have it. Our job is not to go out and euthanize dogs. We can't go out and kill them. We can just let them know that they can't be there and try to find a new home or a new house for them and something like that. That's part of our job to do that. And we're trying to follow the protocol for that. So I feel bad when people say we're not doing anything. We certainly have gone through some of the protocols, but it has to be, it happens to you or your family, your animals, you need to come to us directly. And it's hard to have a neighbor come and tell us about it. It's nice to hear it from the person and also to fill out the report and say, this is what happened. Like a lot of them have sent it to Paul. So at least we have that down, that we have the report.
Yeah, I saw the name Nancy on Zoom. Did your friend join?
I'm not
Zoom?
sure, I didn't
mean,
see
did
it.
that help give you what you needed, Cheryl?
So I don't know if we need to,
I mean, this board could order them to humanely euthanize those dogs. Just a point of clarification.
yeah, I mean, I'm just saying if they take the dogs and they're away from campus and they never come back,
So where's the proof in
So-
that though?
that's what I'm saying. But to me, to go over and say that, okay, we're gonna go get them and euthanize them, I don't see that for my own self. I love animals and I have dogs, and I know I do too. But listen, before you all start, I know some years I do too, but I'm saying the first step is if they take the dogs and they're gone and they don't come back, then we don't have to make that decision. That's the first step. That's what the hearing is for. We're saying we're gonna have a hearing. The dogs cannot be there. We gave you a chance in February. You supposedly did what you had to do, whatever, and if it obviously didn't work, and they told us kind of what happened, it didn't work. So your next step is you need to get rid of the dogs, so we don't have to go in and say, we have to take the dogs and do something with them.
Cheryl, just a quick question, since you guys have already said that you've done what you can. Who do people call? The game warden? Because the police have been already involved in this. The sheriff has been involved. So what do people who actually are worried about their own safety and their animal safety do? Because if you guys can't get the Bachalls to step up and do anything.
Well, this is, whoever sends something to Paul, he gives it to the board. So we hear, like, and then Renee, a couple of you have sent letters in, so we hear about it. I mean, we didn't hear anything for a while.
But
all
is
of
it
a
a
sudden-
game warden issue or like who's next above you guys? Who's
That's Paul.
above Paul?
So I think some people think that if they say things on Facebook, that's reporting it to the town. That's not reporting it to the town.
No, I'm asking if it was reported to the town and suppose if the dogs are back in a week or whatever, in 6 months as they came back this time, Where do people turn besides the town? I'm asking outside of the town meeting, do they go to the state police or the game warden? Who would be the next step?
I don't think it would be the game warden, and I believe the state police will just turn you back over to the town. We have worked with the sheriff's department with some other dog issues. Whether that's been fruitful, I can't really say. I don't think it has been, to be honest with you. That's the way ultimately it's, if it gets to the point where we are now, and I'm sorry to talk and back to you. You know, we bring it to the board and we have the hearing that we have now, and there's things that can be ordered. Honestly, you know, if it did come to an issue of we order it, the board would have to vote on whatever the action is. And the majority of the board that's voting has to all agree what the plan of action is. But
I mean, there's a young children's school on that property too. So, you know, that's just another added layer of concern for everybody.
Right. And I just don't understand it because, you know, when I spoke with Mr. Baka, it was, oh, the kid must have left the gate open. And I said, I don't care how the dogs got out. The dogs are getting out. I don't care if the gate was open. I don't care if they jumped over the fence. I don't care. You were supposed to keep them on the campus, and when they're off the campus, on a leash. And it gets frustrating for me, not just in this, with this instance, but it boggles my mind that people have animals and they have to have me tell them how to take care of their animals. It baffles my mind. And I think, Carol, because you work in this building, you could attest to how many, it's just common sense.
Yes.
You know, despite everyone thinking I'm not doing anything, I spend a lot of time dealing with animal complaints. I spend a lot of time bringing animals to the Humane Society.
Right.
You know, abandoned animals, or, you know, people use me as, oh, this dog got abandoned, and when it, you know, there's been instances when it hasn't been, but they don't want to deal with it, so they dump it on my office. So
are we limited in this to the A, B, and C, which is chain, muzzle, or mainly euthanized?
that's directly from the statute.
Would be a bad idea to order chain. I mean, it's hearsay to me that the dogs are gone.
I know.
I would say if they, and the board can do what they want, I would say if they come back, then we have to say that they have to be taken away or euthanized or go somewhere. I mean, we don't have to say euthanized. They can be taken to the kennel and rehoused home somewhere else. That can be done by any place. And there's a lot of kennels that are looking for that, so that can be done.
I just don't know if it'd be some insurance or some accountability to ordering at least chained at this point.
If they should come back, or if we don't know.
I don't
To the
know.
board to make that.
I mean, since they've been to my house twice, if they get out again, I'm sure they'll be back to my house if they come back. If they get out.
Someone's got their hand up on.
Clarification on what's the difference between leashed and chained, because leashed obviously hasn't made a difference. So what's the difference between leashed and chained?
I can't remember the exact first. Was it just
Change or confined to an area.
the first order just confined to their property?
And when they were off the property, they were supposed to
That
be on a
leash.
leash.
Yeah.
I think chained would be a chained outdoors instead of free roaming.
Right.
Well, they got a 10-foot fence, that's not keeping them in.
Like you said, somebody accidentally left the gate open.
Jonathan.
There's someone with a comment online.
Yeah,
as well.
Jonathan first, and we'll go to them.
It sounds like we're clarifying that we're going through what processes we have available before we take escalating steps. And to her question, just to clarify, outside of the process we're talking about, there's not another mechanism in the state of Vermont that can be engaged that gives you all some more firepower or cover or enforcement resources. It really is, y'all are the final line of defense between us and having to attend to it ourselves. And I think you've done a great job, and I feel like your hands are really tied in a lot of ways. So this is not a criticism, but it's more just a clarification for your question and any of the rest of us. Like, is this about as good as we're able to do under the circumstances? And therefore, as individuals, do we have to like make our decisions filtering it through?
Mm-hmm.
It's a lengthy process before the immediate threat that's chasing you is going to be dealt.
Well,
That changes my
The
decision.
follow-up is if a child is outside with their cat, God forbid,
Yeah,
and this occurs, then if it's a child, does that change the situation here?
they're going to be tied by what's written in
know?
the rules and like how they
Right.
can infringe on our rights based on what those rules allow
Right.
for. But then we're all individuals that get to defend ourselves. So I'm just clarifying. There's not another mechanism we're expected to attend to before we take it.
They go.
I mean, hopefully they're gone, but if they come back.
So we don't want to hear say, I don't know for sure, and then that's just something I was told. So I'm saying I don't know for sure. So if Sandy, you said, Sandy, correct?
Yeah.
If you said to us tomorrow, you call Paul and say, look, they're in my driveway, then we know, I think the board feels confident, we can call them charged and they're done. Someone needs to pick them up and take them and they're have to go. We
Yeah,
can make sure that
believe somebody
ourselves.
must have picked them up, because when I looked on my camera, because I was at work, there was somebody parked in front of my house and two people are out. I couldn't tell who it was because the sun was shining down. So I think somebody did come and get them finally.
I think that they have been and they've been taken to a kennel, and I don't want to throw any names out because I don't think we need to know that.
No,
But I think they were, and they're looking for homes for them. So let's hope that that's a situation, and if something happens, you see them or whatever, then I think the first thing you need to do is to call us. Nope, they're here. We see them again. Because right now we're thinking that's what's happened.
My next question is about the Bachtails and having dogs in general.
We can't.
So now that we've had this huge problem with them multiple times, and now unlike when me and my wife are here alone, we have the community here with us. What are we supposed to do as the community if they do get more dogs? And how does that work? Because they have struggled taking care of their animals in general, and I feel like they're not going to be able to take care of another set of dogs, and something happened to one of their other dogs, and all they did was just go buy another one. So
Well,
it
first,
would
let's.
be
I don't want to go. Yeah, Devin,
it'd
I
just be
understand your
super
point.
Easy to close the book
That
and have them just go get another set of dogs.
we can't. We're not in the business of saying you can and can't have a dog. We have people that don't take their dogs to the vet or don't register and don't do that. We're not in the business of doing that. A lot of people will tell you that those dogs have been on campus and they are in the school and they are well trained when they're over there. And I can speak for myself too. I have been there and seen them too. Yeah, so I think that there's people that see both sides of it. When they get out and they've obviously chased things and have killed things and have that's in them, so they know that they have to go. I don't think that we're in the business to say you can't have any more dogs. I can't say to you, your chickens are in the road causing troubles, therefore you can't have any more chickens. We can't do that. We can say to him, those dogs are out, they hurt other animals, that you're not keeping them in, therefore they have to go, because it's a hazard to the community. That part we can do, but we cannot say, okay, but you
now
can't get any more dogs.
If they do get other dogs, is it the same? If they do get other dogs, is it a blanket clause on the Bachtas that they have to keep their dogs within their you got to be able to control your dog.
Right.
So is that still like a blanket on what the town is going to say? Like, if you guys are going to step up and get other dogs, are we going to have to go through all these steps again?
Let's hope that doesn't happen. If it does, I mean, we can't tell you can't get dogs, you can't get a hat, or you can't get, I mean, I can't tell them that. Those dogs were to some people, they were beautiful, great dogs, and now they have to be rehomed. If they want to say, I'm going to get a smaller little dog that likes to bark all the time or whatever, then we'll hear about, we can't say, no, you can't get any more dogs. I mean.
Isn't there a leash law in Poultney anyways for everybody?
There is, yeah.
Yeah. Mhm.
In an ordinance for nuisance dogs.
I mean, I think Alan's point, I think, this meeting was, noticed and they were put on notice and they know the meeting was tonight. So I think to Alan's point, the board should take some action tonight so that we don't have to start from scratch. But I also think it's worth, the complaint specifically address, the McMahon, is a list of McMahon there? Okay. And then the other one was Renee White.
She's
And
here too.
I think it's worth putting on the record what Renee had to, deal with, if you'd like, Renee.
Yeah,
you could-
yeah. Yeah, it was on November 19th. I was out back walking our dog with my friend, but we always do this, the trail. And our dog was leashed and the dogs came charging up to us and it like attacked our dog. And it was terrifying. I'm surprised you didn't hear me screaming here. I've never yelled so loud in my life. I mean, it was just terrifying. And thankfully she was okay. There was a little boy, one of his sons and one of their staff who doesn't speak English came running up to me, and the little boy got the dogs, took the dogs. And I said to the lady, she goes, I don't speak. She goes, I was trying to talk to her, and she said, I don't speak English and no English. So I put my number in her phone and I said, call me. I said, have Raj call me. He didn't. And so that's when I reached out to Paul the next day. And but I mean, it was terrifying. And I mean, I've been around dogs, I've seen, but I mean, they just, so, and again, we were on a public trail on the back. I mean, they, as I said, if that was a child, like just out back walking, I mean, kids go back there, they fish, they go outside. Like that would have been like, I mean, it was traumatic for me and my friend Karen. We were traumatized, I mean, but for like a young kid, that would have been just awful. And the fact that, he didn't reach out. I mean, there's just no response. It's just not okay. I mean, so that was my situation.
Does the board want to make a motion that we say if the dogs are back, then they're,
Stick to warrant here. I'd make a motion to spot the dog be chained and followed one outside.
So they're allowed back in the town?
I would like that they should not be back.
If they're still in town or they can come back.
Back, they're coming back.
Can you ask for proof of removal?
There's nothing in our ordinance to say.
I did. I haven't heard, but I did ask for that. I was hoping to get clarification tonight. I have not heard back.
I'm sorry to say, if they're back at my house, they may get a bullet. If I'm home or my son's home.
All right, well,
I'm not in the village.
do we vote on this?
You making a motion? Hold on. a
You
second.
made the motion, Valerie seconded it.
Made the
Second.
motion, second, I, all in favor?
So you're all in favor of if they're back, you're gonna muzzle them and chain them. We're not gonna take them away from the community?
If you
I
do
don't
the
think that's an
one,
option that we have on here. I think it's chain, muzzle, euthanize.
As long as it means you take them away from the,
Is that what you mean?
No, you
Yeah.
use nothing, you should.
take them. You don't do that.
You humanely,
Humanely, yeah. No, I know it. I certainly know what it means.
Right.
Okay, it's your decision, whatever you're saying.
I don't
So you
think
made the
there's- I don't think
motion?
There's a go live on the farm in the country in New York option on here.
And you make the second it? Okay, all in favor?
So wait, they're allowed back here?
I was gonna say, if you do that, then you're saying when you do the thing you said you weren't gonna do, here's what we're gonna do, and that kind of beats the witness a little bit in that you're basically saying, if you don't do the thing we asked for, well, here's the little trouble that can you. Can we demand that they remove, can we officially direct them to remove the animals from the property, or is it only chain muzzle? Do you think?
I would have to talk with the legal counsel to,
Because if we can't do that, then we do have to follow the other steps just in order until it comes down to
Right.
the town has to make a decision on euthanization, because we're limited to
Right, after more animals get
Your
killed.
personal,
but-
it's a different story entirely, and that was what I was clarifying earlier about was, are
All
we
right, so we passed
to get
it.
another mechanism? But if we do that, we're saying, when you bring them back, here's what you have to do.
Right.
And can neighbors be notified if those
Yeah.
dogs come back? So that their
Yeah.
children, livestock and pets themselves can be
Yeah.
protected?
That would, thank God, my garage door was so.
But there should be notification.
Yeah.
Notification.
Okay.
Pretty fair.
Um,
So we need to purchase a muzzle.
I don't know. No, we don't need to.
Purchase a
Um,
muzzle.
think that I think what I would say is if anybody, whether you know, sees or hears or something of the dogs, then you let the town know ASAP. I think that's the important thing, if they should be back. I will make sure that if we get confirmation, I'll make sure Paul knows and that is put in somewhere. We'll put it, make sure that they know that the dogs are no longer in Poultney. The house, once we get confirmation, that gives most people, it should give peace of mind to know that yes, they're gone and they're not coming back. Is there anybody on that have a question?
Someone had their hand up, but they put it down. Does anyone online want to make any comments? Or have questions?
We appreciate all of you coming. I know it's not easy. We appreciate you coming. We try to follow the rules and what we have and follow working with we have a lot of annual issues from little to big, so we try to do the best we can to follow the rules and make those decisions. We certainly don't want harm to anybody, whether it's animals, people, or anything, and I don't want people to not be able to walk and not to be able to worry about that. I love animals. I walk my road all the time, and my dog was killed by another dog, so I know all about it, and I wouldn't want that on anybody either. So we hear you. I don't want you to think we don't. We do hear you. So hopefully this will be taken care of. Roger will know what's happening, and it'll be taken care of. So, right.
Isn't there a motion on the table?
Okay.
Yes, we passed it. Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
Okay, so, I just have a reminder that anyone who, wants to run for the select board, either this board or any other person, the candidate petitions are due by 5 p.m. on January 26th, 2026. I think we chose a meeting on Monday, January 5th at 4:30 for our budget meeting. I will remember to post the agenda this time. The clerk has given me a liquor license application for Toad's Burgers. If someone wants to make a motion to approve that.
That's illegal.
Yeah.
And to approve liquor license for Toads.
Second. Second by Mark. All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carried.
So you're gonna want it, Cheryl sign it where it says approved. Please. Mark had asked to put the zoning fee schedule back on the agenda. I think the board briefly discussed it a couple of meetings ago.
All right, it's pretty much boilerplate. No real surprise.
Make any changes on it? I know Jason, I did the board have a chance, the board members have a chance to look it over.
I make a motion to adopt the fee schedule as put together.
Second. Second by Val, all in favor? Any opposed? Zoning fee schedule passed.
Goes to the zoning people.
Would the new fee schedule be effective?
On the post, 60 days.
I don't know. I think the board could say,
First of the year.
first of the year or something.
First year, that makes sense.
Yes. Someone want to make the motion?
So you're modifying your motion.
Modify the motion to include January 1st, 2026.
Second. All in favor?
Uh,
Any opposed? passed starting January 1st, 2026.
A couple of the, town employees have asked me about, whether or not this board would be amenable for them to take off the day after Christmas, which is Friday, December 26th.
I'll make a motion to close the office on Friday, the 26th.
Off.
All in favor? Any opposed? Motion passed.
Merry Christmas.
Thank you very much.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you, Elon. Working.
That's all I have for the moment.
That's gonna be a match.
There anything about planning commission?
No.
No.
No meetings, for a little while, so.
Nice.
Start back up in January, yeah.
Back in January, a little bit of break.
So Sarah, when is the building inspection scheduled?
Building inspection?
Yeah.
Are you talking about the site visit?
The site visit.
MERP? So the MERP, the state is coming January 7th to, review the buildings that were awarded funds from the Municipal Energy Resilience Program. It's a closed site visit, with, site managers and people who are familiar with the buildings only, because it will be a competitive bid process when we put the projects out for construction. But it's happening on the 7th.
Okay. Now, when you say closed,
Invite only.
invite-
Yeah, and you can't bid on the project, so if you plan to bid on it, you can't come.
nice.
Good idea.
Yeah, yeah, it'll be, and I think I've been corresponding.
Yeah.
With folks who are, site managers for each of those locations. And,
All three, they'll be looking at.
so yeah, so for the town, we'll be visiting the town office, the senior center and the town garage. Potentially Stonebridge at the end of the day if needed.
Hey, public comment.
There's Mr. Buckton.
Maybe he'll update us. Can you hear us?
Hello,
You hear us?
I can.
Just want to know, we had the public hearing, we already discussed it. Do you have an update for us? That'll put the community a little bit at ease. Are they here?
Yeah, well, first of all, to everybody there, sorry, I am in a different time zone. I'm traveling. I apologize for any disturbance and trouble that my dogs have caused. I have, kind of been sent some snippets of, what I've seen online. And, I understand and acknowledge that there was an order to keep the dogs, out of the town. And when I've been traveling with, we had two troubles, one with their electronic collars that they started just shocking them randomly in the house. And so we had to, take them off, and between that and me being gone, and what happens, they end up going looking for me, and with 5 kids going out of the house, they got out. And my sincere apologies for that again. Number 2, we have taken the measure right now of getting them off campus and in training again to not leave.
No,
I'm sorry.
that's not acceptable.
Just finish, wait, let him finish first before we, go ahead, finish quick, please.
Yeah, and that's basically, we've taken steps to make sure that they will not get out again.
I don't think that's really acceptable, Raj, because of the damage and the community members and what they've done to people in the community. They would like to see, and we were told that they were maybe brought to a kennel and were going to be rehoused and not be back to campus. So I'm wondering if something changed, because we just passed something that says if they were on campus, they were going to be chained and muzzled, that they don't get out and don't hurt anybody, whether it's people or other animals, because it just happens. And it's really been frightful for the community members.
I understand. So you're saying the resolution says what?
That when the dogs are in the town or village of Poultney, they shall be chained and muzzled.
Well, we just got to not get them into town. So I understand. And my apologies for the trouble.
I mean, the campus is in the town/village, so I think the spirit of the motion, and correct me if I'm wrong, board, but I think the spirit of the motion is if those dogs are in this community, whether they're on campus or not, they're chained and muzzled.
Outside of the home, I think was the intention.
We should let the community talk.
I mean, to see my neighbor's poor cat dead, it's not a good thing. And my cats were terrorized.
And people walking on the rail trail and have the dogs come up to them, whether they were with one of the children or not, was also terrorizing. I mean, it's not just one or two issues, Raj. It's several have come up with. They've been out and running and barking to get out. So it's not one or two things. It's beyond that part. So the board feels strongly that we're getting inundated, and then they all have the right to complain because there's some serious things that the dogs have done. That's scary.
Renee, do you want to recount your story?
Yeah, I can.
Speak up.
Raj, Renee White, I walk the rail trail all the time with my dog, and I was out on November 19th on an late afternoon, and the dogs came charging my dog. And one of your son, a small young man, was there, and one of your staff who doesn't speak English. Your son took the dogs, but it was terrifying. I mean, it was absolutely terrifying. And it's not okay. Like, we were on a public trail, I mean, it's just not okay. And if that was a child out back walking, I mean, that could have been so much more traumatic. Thankfully our dog was okay. I mean, but she was obviously traumatized, but I mean, she wasn't hurt that bad, but I mean, she was clearly shaken, as we both were.
Well, I'm sorry that happened. She's saying that my dogs have to be muzzled on my own property?
Yeah.
Yes.
You can't keep them on your property, brother.
Because when you're traveling, you're out there saying that they're not staying on your property. They've been out several times, and they've been killing other animals and been terrorizing people. So when you're traveling and you're not there, they're not staying on your property.
Your dogs dug into my garage, tore the board off, trying to get in the garage. I have blood through my garage from my cats. I don't know which cats because they're feral. They were digging at the other door. They dug my garage. They dug into the cement. One of your dogs had blood on the paws. My whole yard was covered with dog prints with blood on it. I don't know what cat was bleeding, but they dug into the cement in my garage. It was now on the ground, and pulled the whole board off my garage. Had any of the doors been open, they would have been in the garage. And I have a picture of the neighbor's dead cat, if you'd like to see it.
So it's just, Raj, it's just not the first time this has been happening, and
a picture of the
more
dog
and more
at my
people. I
garage.
mean,
Well, the resolution is passed. I I don't, I don't understand the legality of having a muzzle dog on my own property when I'm going for a walk. But we can take that up later, I suppose.
Well, I don't understand that my cats have to be terrorized by somebody else's dog and not knowing if I come home from work, if they're gonna be dead or alive.
I
That way you can't
understand.
Walk down the street because your dogs are terrorizing our community, dude. You can't control your animal, Rod. You can't control your animals. It's been proven. You can't do it. So that's why the
All right.
town is telling you how to handle your animals.
Right. Well, again, I won't get into the particulars. Now I understand the resolution is passed. We'll take a look at it. And I wish everybody a Merry Christmas. My apologies for the disturbance that they have caused, but I suppose we'll look at this. We'll look at this when I return. But what's done is done. My apologies. I understand, and I'm saying that with respect to the resolution that's passed. But with that, I will sign off.
When you get home, will your dogs be back on campus? I guess that's the question everyone wants to know. Right now, they thought that they were not going to be here. They weren't on campus. But you're saying when you come home, the dogs will be back?
We'll have to figure that out. I don't know. I don't know yet.
Part of the resolution is that the dogs get put down.
Yeah, to be euthanized if they
The
get out.
last part of the resolution
Okay.
is that the dogs get put down.
We didn't go that far.
Go ahead.
And that's where it goes next if you don't take care of your dogs.
I'm sorry. Who's speaking there?
Devin, your neighbor that you never came and spoke to ever.
Oh
again.
yeah. I remember you, Kevin. Yeah, very unhappy guy.
Devin.
Very nasty man who came screaming at my wife. But I think it's going to start going. I think it's going to start going backwards. I wish everybody a Merry Christmas. I apologize for anybody who's been in trouble. Kevin, I wish you a Merry Christmas. Hope you find Jesus.
You should stop drinking before coming to school.
And I'm sorry. What?
You shouldn't take shots at other members of the town, man.
That's not even his name.
Okay, we're not getting into it.
Don't do this, guys.
No.
We're
Don't do this.
done.
All right.
Okay. Bye bye.
Bye-bye.
Lock and load.
Oh, my God.
At least he doesn't know it's Devin up there. Kevin, so we're good.
Okay, you want public comments?
You got such a temper like my son Devin. Good thing he's not here tonight.
So the
Have any other
have
public-
anything else to say after listening to
Yeah,
that?
so he's gonna bring his dogs back.
So they can come right back to the village.
Devin, and I know you, I know you're upset. I'm upset that we have to go through all this too, and I know there's a lot of other issues, but we can only do one step at a time. We cannot go over there and, I don't even spend time doing that, but any other comments from the board?
Something needs to be done.
Yeah.
So the dogs are there.
We're in training, he said, right now. He said
They
they're in
could be there.
training.
But they could be
Where?
training there.
He did not actually say they were off campus, right? He never said they were off campus. He said they're in training.
And this is what I meant by when I said to his wife that this needed to be solved or else we were going to have a huge problem. And this is the problem that we're having is that it's affecting our whole community. And now, just like I said at the last town meeting, he thinks he's above the rules and he doesn't have to follow them.
I think that's why we passed what we did tonight. There's only one more step after this, and I think we all know what it is.
Right.
Okay, Alan speaking. Order, please.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I don't know if anyone heard that, but we did what we can tonight, I think, without going that final step. But there is one more step if need be. Hopefully he learns a lesson from this or takes the hint at it. And I think that's what we can do from now, for now. And I want to thank you guys actually put in the formal complaints and made this happen and came speak with us directly.
So do I have to put mine in writing, Alan Glenn? So
I
what
don't
does
think
mine
it
have?
hurt.
Okay.
It's nice to have it, so that's why it's, especially if you come from the meeting, make sure you put it in writing.
Copies of all of our written.
If you've sent
He
anything
does.
to Paul, he does.
Yeah.
We send them to him, yeah.
Might be working.
In the videos, yes.
Paul, can I get your email then after?
Yeah,
Thank you.
Are there any more public comments other than,
Sorry, you have to deal with this board
Yeah.
Something lighthearted.
We do appreciate what you're doing.
I have one quick thing that I was gonna mention. I started trying to do this thing where I'm trying to put out some educational information about what we do, how we do it, blah, blah, blah. I'll do a quick one, because we just went through it last Friday. Air temperature. Last Friday, the air temperature was like 50, 54, 56 degrees or whatever. The day before that was 40 degrees, right? We just came out of like a 2-week deep freeze of single digits negative temperatures. So just because the air temperature is 50 and you're down to a t-shirt and have the windows down like I did as well, enjoying it, doesn't mean that when it rains at 50 degrees that the ground can't flash freeze. Think about this. Your tongue is approximately 98 degrees. You have a frozen telephone pole. You stick your tongue in the pole. What happens? It flash freezes. Your tongue's stuck to... I'm just trying to make an analogy, right? No, it's an analogy we can all understand. So, huh?
When you get a sliver, if you put your tongue in a telephone.
It's possible. It's possible. I'm not going to say it's not because I don't want to get sued.
Sound like you've had experience in that.
No, I watched A Christmas Story, so. Yeah, so it's just a
So
piece
your point being what?
So the point being, 40 degrees, the air temperature is warm, and it starts to rain out. Just expect the roads can get really ugly, particularly the gravel roads. Either or, but particularly the gravel roads. They're all still a sheet of ice underneath all that stone we put down. So it's just, I'd like to get it out there before somebody has an accident and we learn it the hard way. Merry Christmas.
Thanks.
Cheryl, I just have one quick question.
Sure, Karen.
Since it's only 2 weeks till the new zoning fees will be going into effect, will they be getting on our website very quickly? Because I haven't seen them at our office either, and I'm sure they're probably substantial increase compared to what we were charging.
Yeah, we can get it on there.
Is that the updated one?
Yeah.
Because we don't have the updated one. We have.
This is the field.
You didn't do this copy?
Thank you, Valerie. It's in our office. Okay, thank you.
Do we have any more public comments or anything online, Phil? Okay. Board orders, do you want to make a motion
I would sign the board order.
seconds? Valerie second, all in favor? Any opposed? Board orders signed. Oh, you said no executive session?
No.
Anybody else? Any other? Anybody want to make a motion to adjourn? Perfect. I'll second it. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed?